Hello, welcome to Property Nomads. Welcome to episode 390, a dictatorial warning. Farage locked out of UK accounts. Before we get started, I'll be self-indulgent. It's my birthday today, so 13th of July. Happy birthday, me. Thumbs up, 35 years old, and hopefully I won't start having a midlife crisis for the next few years. Always love birthday comments, so please do feel free to say happy birthday if you're watching this on YouTube. Or the best birthday present you could give me is by liking the podcast, subscribing to the podcast. If you're on YouTube, press that notification bell and spread Property Nomads as much as possible to as many people as you can. That would be the best birthday present you could possibly give me. Thank you very, very much for your love and your continued support of the podcast. A dictatorial warning: Farage locked out of UK accounts. Now, in the previous episode, we spoke about cashless society and the fact that the fight back needs to begin with you and I paying for things in cash as much as possible. That means we've got to take our business elsewhere, then so be it. That's what we've got to do. Slightly paradoxically to that is a little while ago, Nigel Farage claimed he was locked out of his UK accounts. Now, I quite like Nigel Farage. He talks a lot of common sense. Yes, as with any politician, you've got your good parts, you've got your bad parts. Totally agree. But he seems like a nice, genuine guy. I like what he says as well. And he claims that he has been locked out of his UK accounts purely because of his political views. Now, I've got no way of proving whether that's right or wrong. So I'm not going to sit here and take someone's side. But let's just say, play devil's advocate, let's just say that is true, that he has been forced out of his UK accounts, or the accounts have changed, or whatever has happened in the background has happened. What if that is true because of his political beliefs? What does that mean for you and I? So when we go cashless, if we go cashless, hopefully we won't, but if we do, and then you and I are relying on the dictators that we have in charge, and we're relying on the state for everything. What if we disagree with them? What if we disagree about climate change? What if we say that, actually, do you know what? I think climate change is nonsense. Sorry, climate change is nonsense. Well, if that goes against the grain of what the bigger picture is, then maybe you'll get a little mark on your file. Maybe you'll lose your bank account just because you don't agree with the narrative. That's the situation we're facing. And that's the danger that we're facing, that we are on this slippery slope. We've already started, and like an avalanche, we've just got a small snowball at the moment, and that's going to keep getting bigger, keep getting bigger, keep getting bigger until it completely wipes us out, or until it's big enough and we see it too late and we're screwed. One of the two, it's going to happen. So if you disagree with what the state says, and they don't like it, and you've got a different view, and remember, you're not allowed a different view, but if you've got a different view and you get locked out of all your stuff, which again, in a cashless society would be quite easy to do, you are utterly, utterly screwed. I would use a different word, but I'm trying to keep this as YouTube friendly as possible. You're up that creek without a paddle. I think you get the gist of what I'm saying. And this is quite dangerous. It really, really is. Now, secondly, someone that runs a property business, and I'll hold my hands up. I'm not 100% cash. I do have apps for different things because sometimes they are quite useful, but I do try and use cash as frequently as possible. If you get kicked out of your bank and you have no bank account, it is incredibly difficult to try and do anything in this country if you do not have access to a bank account. Try getting a mortgage, try sending cash to other people, try to get hold of cash in the first place. Very difficult to do. If you've got stacks of gold and silver and true money and you've got physical cash, that's the way out of it. That's the way you can offset that. But if you had £1 million in cash and that is all you could use, how long do you think you could survive on that just by using cash? No bank accounts, nothing. I don't know. It's an experiment I'd love to do. If you've got £1 million that you want to hand over, we can have some fun with it, and we can document it by only using cash, not using any bank accounts. How long do you think you could survive? And I don't know is the answer to that. I've not tried it. The thing is, as we discussed in the last episode, is that the more and more we go cashless, bit by bit, poco a poco, step by step, we are on that slippery slope. And the fact that Farage was locked out of his UK accounts, or whatever's happened has happened. And if he is right, and it is because of political beliefs, again, we'll never know that, because you know what big corporations like, they always come up with some big BS in order to cover their backsides. But let's assume that's true, then that sets a very dangerous precedent for you and I, because you're listening to this because you like to go against the narrative. I'm recording this because I love to go against the narrative. If we're not protecting ourselves in the background, so by getting cash out of the bank and having physical cash, and we're not protecting ourselves with true money, gold and silver, and other assets, and we get in this situation where we disagree with what the state says, we could be well and truly screwed. And that's not a situation I want to be in. That's not a situation that you should want to be in either. So heed this now. We have been served a dictatorial warning by our government to say, you better believe what we tell you and agree with our narrative. Otherwise, we're just going to kick you out of your accounts. And it will start with your accounts. Then it'll be social credit scores as well. Then you won't be allowed to buy certain types of food. You won't be allowed to go on holiday. You won't be allowed to do what you want to do and live how you want to live because you disagree with the mainstream media. You disagree with the narrative. That's the thing that we all have to avoid. But at the same time, we need to create more awareness about this, because this is what is going on. This is what is happening moving forward. We've got to stop this now. We've been served the warning. No bueno. We'll have Mark Champ on in the next couple of episodes, go over mortgage rates and Bank of England and so forth. And as I mentioned at the start, the best birthday present you could give is by liking the podcast, subscribing to the podcast, sharing the podcast with as many people as possible. That would be absolutely brilliant. Have a fantastic day and see you in the next video.